Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia McNulty.
And I'm Audrey Fannin,
the awesome producer. Yes, this is our 6th episode. I'm very excited about that. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from you out there. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you're enjoying our podcasts. Today, we're going to be talking about the full moon in Sagittarius, which is, I've got some exciting information for you guys and some things you could do to really tap into that energy. But first, we're going to talk about some planetary shenanigans, I call them, that happened in the beginning of the month, in the beginning of June. So we have, Mercury is no longer causing trouble because Mercury went direct, meaning now it's orbiting the way it should. That happened on June 3rd. So you should start seeing forward momentum, forward progress. If you did research during Mercury's retrograde period, now would be a good time to implement that research. If you put things off or rescheduled appointments, now would be a good time to reschedule them and move forward with that. Now, Saturn, our taskmaster of the zodiac, has gone retrograde the 4th of June. So right now, Saturn looks like it's traveling backwards. But we know that's not the case. That's an illusion. It's how Saturn is aligned between the Earth and the Sun that we can see. So it looks like it's moving backwards, but of course it's not. But the energy does change. Saturn now is asking us to kind of look inside ourselves, take some time for quiet reflection. Those of you who have a lot of Saturn in their charts or Capricorn, you might kind of feel out of step. You might feel like stuck in slow motion. And that's normal because your planet is moving, backwards. It's not moving the way it should. Well, the energy, not the planet.
So how long is Saturn going to be retrograde in Aquarius?
It'll be retrograde for a couple of months. I'll have to look up the exact date, and I'll let you know. I'll put it on Facebook or as a note in the podcast information. So, but it's for a couple of months, at least 5 months. It's in this state. So what do we do? What do we do? As always, let's use the energy that we're given. So Saturn is having us look at the structures and boundaries of our life. How are they working? Or do we need to put more limitations and boundaries to keep us mentally healthy, keep us safe? How are those external factors working for us? We might see on a global level more maybe stringent policies coming from, all over all the countries. People are, countries and governments are starting to take harder stands against invaders, against things that are not good for their people. So we might see more limitations. So we also might see people feeling more intense about their political beliefs or about their religious beliefs. So you want to make sure you're not being one of those people and you let everybody, have a say in how they want to live their lives. So, but using Saturn's energy to its best possible use is to look over your own self, look over your boundaries and limitations, and see how those can be improved upon. So there you go for Saturn.
Be sure to visit Cynthia's website, essentialzodiac.com, and check out the latest Astro Tarot spread, or read this month's horoscopes. And look into Cynthia's current promotions like the Happy Birthday offer with a discount on your solar return chart. And become a patron of Essential Zodiac, and you'll be rewarded with access to a private Facebook forum. The Patreon levels include a number of great rewards like a free Astro Tarot reading each month, a personalized monthly astrology forecast, even a shout out at the end of each episode. So learn more at essentialzodiac.com.
Thank you, Audrey. I appreciate that. So now we're going to get into the full moon in Sagittarius. Full moons are always the culmination of the lunar cycle. It starts with the new moon approximately 2 weeks ago, and now it's coming to fruition with our full moon in Sagittarius. Now, a full moon occurs when the sun, in this case Gemini, is on the opposite side of the chart from the moon, which in this case is Sagittarius. And that is what a full moon is. So now this particular axis, the Gemini-Sagittarius axis, is very cerebral. It's a mental axis. The Gemini, which is an air sign, represents the lower mind, where Sagittarius represents, which is a fire sign, represents the higher mind. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is a truth seeker. The Gemini sun encourages us to think logically. Gemini wants to gather information and then, use it. How are they going to use it? Sagittarius represents or symbolizes the quest for meaning and ideas to expand upon. So in a way, Gemini gives Sagittarius the foundation, and Sagittarius takes it further. Gemini looks to the here and now, and Sagittarius looks to the bigger picture. And that is one of the cautions, I'd say, about Sagittarius, is it does look at the bigger picture, but sometimes we get so caught up in the bigger picture, we forget the details. So it's important to keep in mind, make a plan, so you don't lose any of the important details along the way. So now, as I said, Sagittarius is a fire sign, but it's also what we call a mutable sign. So it means it's flexible, where cardinal signs and fixed signs have very hard and fast specific energy. Sagittarius is more flexible. It looks at a lot of factors. So Sagittarius is passionate and drawn to new ideas, philosophies, and travel. Now, if you are familiar with astrological symbols, Sagittarius is the centaur, the archer. The centaur is half man, half horse, and he has a bow and arrow, and he's pointing that to the sky, symbolizing Sagittarius' quest for knowledge, for very literally reaching for the stars. Also, Sagittarius is very invested in the truth. I've always said, if you want to know the truth about something, if you really want to know how that outfit looks on you, find a Sagittarius, because they will tell you the unvarnished absolute truth. So you do have to be prepared for that, just in case it doesn't go your way. But they will be honest with you. So there you go. There's a fashion tip from Essential Zodiac. Okay, so Sagittarius its archetype is the explorer, which makes sense because we've been talking about the big picture and reaching for the stars. It's the quest for the truth. Planets in Sagittarius are capable of vast and enthusiastic thought. Each planet in Sagittarius, when it's in Sagittarius, will act very broad-minded. Now, as we're talking about today, the moon in Sagittarius gives us an emotional need to think big, to be restless and want adventure. You may find yourself wanting to break out of a routine with this moon. You might feel a bit restless. In your natal chart, the house that contains Sagittarius is where you need to explore, to seek the truth, and find your philosophy of life. The same goes for the house that rules Jupiter, because as I mentioned, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So over the next 2 weeks, we will discover what this means for us. For now, we can't just sit on our feelings. We have to express them. And I have some tips for us to use this Sagittarius energy during this full moon for our benefit. Now, the first thing I would say, accept your feelings. Feelings are feelings. They're neither good nor bad. They're yours, and you should acknowledge them. And don't let people invalidate those feelings. They may feel a different way about something. That doesn't mean that your feelings are wrong, and it doesn't mean that their feelings are wrong. So embrace those feelings, and you deal with them the way you need to. Maybe you do need to let something go, or maybe you don't. So you need to deal with them in the best manner for you. So that's always good, to accept our feelings. The next tip is strengthen your solar plexus chakra. Now, this chakra sits just below your ribs, and it's your seat of power, courage, and integrity. So working to consciously strengthen this chakra is a way to build yourself up so you're ready to take charge. Now, there's several ways that you could do this. The color for this particular chakra is yellow. So maybe wear yellow clothing, even if it's just a scarf. But wear something yellow, because yellow I've always found to be a happy color. You know, it makes you feel good. It's bright, it's sunny, so yellow will lift your mood. Also, eat yellow food. That's a yummy way to strengthen our chakra. So yellow food, corn, yellow squash, pineapple, those are a few yellow foods. You could use saffron in a dish. Saffron is an herb that when you use it, it turns your food, rice in particular, yellow. So you can do that.
It does make beautiful rice.
It does make beautiful, very tasty rice too. And if you go to the grocery store, in the rice section, there is packets of rice with the saffron already in it. So you don't have to go out and buy a whole thing of saffron, because it is an expensive herb. It's one of the most expensive herbs. But if you go to your local Lowe's or Harris Teeter, yellow rice is sitting right in the rice aisle for you. Very tasty. And another thing that you could do is carry some gemstones if you have them. Citrine, yellow jasper, and calcite gemstones are yellow, and they correspond to your solar plexus chakra. And I think I've mentioned this before. If you want a discreet way to wear a gemstone, is on Etsy. You can find people who make just simple rings out of the gemstones, just simple bands. I personally have an amethyst, a carnelian, a jade, and they're very simple. They're like under $20. So that's a easy incognito way to wear a gemstone. And also, every morning when you get out of bed, go to your mirror and look yourself in the face and do these affirmations. And really, when you say them, believe them. Say them with conviction. You might feel foolish at first, but trust me, you won't after you do this a few times. So here are a couple affirmations, and I will also put them on the Facebook page so that you can have them. But they're very simple. They're very simple. The first one is, I am strong, I am powerful, I am confident. The second one is, I am worthy of success, happiness, and love. And the last one is, I believe and trust in myself. I can do it. So say those, repeat those. And like I said, say them with conviction. Now, some people also like to use essential oils with the chakras. You can like spray yourself. Lemon is a good solar plexus essential oil. I have chakra kits on my website. If you go to my website and just click on chakra essential oils, you'll see them there. You can also buy the candle that goes with it, as well as the stone or just the oil, but you could get a whole kit if that's what you would like. So they're on there. I have all the chakras for you to choose from. So working with your chakra, working with your seat of power will give you confidence. And another one is, I'm a big believer in giving back. We are blessed. Most of us are very, very blessed. And I feel that it's important to be grateful and to help out others. Lend a hand when it's needed, because that karma comes back around. And, a lot of people think when we talk about karma, they only think, oh, the bad things come back, 3 times. Well, yes, that's true. But people forget, so does the good. If you're a good person and, you go out of your way to help your fellow man, it's going to come back to you. It really is. So practice giving. Is there a friend or a neighbor that could use a hand, maybe with a home project? Or maybe, they have had a family situation, and maybe if you bring over something as simple as a pizza, that would be grateful, Donate to a charity of your choice. And, it doesn't have to be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Any amount of money a charity is grateful to receive. There's lots of GoFundMe pages. You can look at them. If one talks to you in particular, make a donation. We want to reach out to others. And then this one is one of my favorites, is a full moon ritual bath. So the full moon this will air earlier, but the full moon is on June 14th this year, this moon that we're talking about. So you want to take a full moon ritual bath. And they're a really powerful way to cleanse your energy field. So lock the bathroom door. If you're a mom and you've got little kids, lock the bathroom door, dim the lights, maybe light a candle.
Let your partner take care of the kids for a while. You deserve a break.
There you go. That's exactly right. It's a little self-care, and it's very valuable in any way. So, get a nice ambiance going in your bathroom. So set your intentions. Think about what you want to release and surrender at this particular moment. It could be simple or elaborate. Write it down if you need to and say it to yourself as, you're running the bath and you're getting things ready. And then you can add herbs to your bath. And I know we probably all have these in our pantry. Sage, basil, cloves, and rosemary are all herbs that align with Sagittarius. And you can use just one. You could use all four of them, whatever you would like. And then as you wash your body, imagine that you are washing away the heaviness and stuck patterns in your life. Just let it go. Just relax in the water too, and just picture in your mind, like just all of it just going away. And then as you drain your tub, think of it too, like in your mind's eye, see like the water be cloudy and see it just go down the drain. And then you'll feel renewed. You've had a few minutes to yourself, and you've released what no longer serves you. And that's what's very important. And don't think about what you released. After it's gone down the drain, let it go. Let it go. And we can always use a little self-care. And that goes a long way for a healthy mind and body. So there you go. That's this week's episode. But before we close, I have some exciting news, very exciting news for me. We're going to have an extra podcast episode, the summer solstice, or Letha. The summer solstice is on the 21st of June, but our podcast will be airing on the 17th. And we have a special guest, Ravenheart, who is my high priestess and the high priestess of my coven. And she has agreed to come here and talk with us about the Sabbath of Letha. So I'll be giving the astrological perspective, and she'll be talking on the spiritual. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be a very interesting and fun podcast. I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you keep looking up. And remember, with astrology, you could chart your life's course. Bye now.
If you have any questions for Cynthia, please send an email to ezpodcast@yahoo.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, podcast@yahoo.com. And please be sure to share our podcast with your friends. The Essential Zodiac podcast is produced at Muddy Creek Studios.